welcome back to another episode of Mariners Down Under. Well, what a last couple of days we've had. We take down the juggernaut that is Tariq Skubal. We get the win in the final game against the Detroit Tigers. We absolutely chase Justin Verlander from the game today against San Francisco. And then we end up going 11 innings. We look great offensively. We burn the absolute snot out of the bullpen. And unfortunately, we can't get the W. But that's baseball, and we're going to love the Mariners no matter what happens. Some good news, though, across the minors. Everett Aqua Sox, they ended up having a win, and the Modesto Nuts as well. Both of those teams feature friends of the podcast. So we're going to be keeping a little bit of an eye on them, and we'll, of course, recap the last two games. We have a giveaway in today's episode, another Easter egg giveaway. 3 keychains are up for grabs, so make sure you listen to the entire episode and find out what you've got to do to take home those keychains. But let's get into it. Well, it has been a tumultuous last 2 days, or 3 days really, because we had the off day in there, didn't we? So the final game of our 3-game set against the Detroit Tigers, I think we all sort of had that penciled in as a tough one. And thankfully, we were able to score the win. That's not the one that I would have picked out of the 3 that we'd get the win. We take down Tariq Skubal, probably one of the best, half dozen pitchers in Major League Baseball. Fantastic guy. Really wish he was on our side. And that's saying something because we've got the best pitching staff in the league. So our Luis Castillo takes the cookies for that one. He goes 7 innings strong. 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 errors, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and just gives up the 1 home run. Then Spire comes in, does a fantastic job. And then Munoz gives us a little bit of a mini heart attack with a couple of walks and a hit. And I'm getting flashbacks to Milwaukee last season. He had a bit of an implosion. And it was taking me to a deep, dark place while I was at work. But thankfully, we were able to pull it out. Skubal only went the 5.2 innings. The 6 hits off him, 3 runs, 3 errors, 3 walks. He did have 8 Ks though, and just giving up the 1 home run. So we end up pulling that one out. We have the off day, and then we go into San Francisco, and it is Luis Castillo again versus Justin Verlander. I think everyone's had a smart comment from it. It's Luis F. Castillo, I beg your pardon. Goes 3 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 errors, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. Then we have Sauce come in for a little bit, gives up the 2 hits, the 2 runs, the 2 errors with the strikeout. Then Snyder comes in, Bizzardo, Spire, Thornton, Santos, Munoz, and then Vargas. So we burn the bullpen because it's an 11-inning game. We tally 15 hits as a team. They tally 17 and unfortunately get us in the end because Vargas looked a little bit proppy. He moved for a ball and I don't know whether it was a hammy or whether it was a back. I was listening to the radio broadcast while I was at work. It was a gorgeous day outside here. And he just didn't seem the same. Like, I watched a little bit of footage this afternoon when I got home from work, and it just didn't look good. So, if it was a little bit different, we'd replace him. We probably, can manage to make it through. But them's the breaks. So a great day offensively. Just a couple of people to point out. Julio looked fantastic today. 6 at-bats, 3 hits, 3 runs, an RBI, the walk. I believe that he got intentionally walked late. It loaded the bases, I believe, for Cal. This is the problem when I'm working while the games are on. I don't have my pen and paper. I'm not making notes during it. It's just all off the old noggin. And then Polo comes back. He's got the 5 at-bats, 1 run, 3 hits, 4 RBIs, and the walk as well. So he's looking great. And then, Demo picks up the hit. So his batting average goes to 364, the OPS of 1.136. He's just off the chain at the moment. Polo's batting at 450, which is insane. That's not going to sustain. But geez, I'm glad for Jorge Polanco. He really deserves this. Really, really deserves it. So the good news, we chased Verlander. 2.1 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 errors, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, gave up the home run. But unfortunately, we just weren't able to take that one home. So it's an interesting one tomorrow for those that are listening. before the game. So it will be Robbie Ray and Bryce Miller, just with the reshuffle that's gone on. So I just wonder what Robbie Ray is going to come out with. I think from memory, in his last outing, he looked good and then he just sort of exploded. So he's 1-0 with the 5.06 ERA. Bryce copped the loss last time. That's a 4.76. So that will be an interesting one. And then, of course, we've got the final game of the 3-game series, and that'll be Wu versus Hicks, which Brian Wu on the mound is always a very, very exciting time for us. And then we get back home, and then we're taking on the Astros. So it was a tough one today. It was tough to stomach. They're the ones that, you look back on and you go, geez, that could make all the difference. But the boys played a hell of a game, and they gave it their very best. There was some good news, though, in the minor leagues, and we are keeping an eye on the minor leagues, given some of our friends of the podcast are down there. So Ryan Sloan, he's in Modesto. Did not pitch today, however, and we'll obviously let you guys know when he does. But I just wanted to highlight in that game, the Nuts did win 6-3. Fallon Saliston is one of our top prospects. 4 at-bats, a run, 2 hits, and 2 RBIs. So not too bad for Fallon. And then the game that I was listening to this afternoon, it was the Everett AquaSox taking on the Indians. I mean, Everett managed to pull out the 4-3 win. But for our friends of the podcast, Josh Caron, 4 at-bats. He was catching today. 1 run, 1 hit, and an RBI. He looked pretty good behind the plate. I'll give you the hot tip. That's a guy that is a serious ball player. We haven't had him on. I really want him on. But Las Montes, 2 runs, 2 hits, an RBI, and 2 walks as well. So he had just a fantastic game. And then the other guys that were in there as well I'm really keen to keep an eye on this season. Michael Arroyo, not too great of a game for him today. And Colt Emerson, he had 3 at-bats with the 1 hit and the walk as well. In terms of the arm, Brock Moore saw a bit of action today. He's a guy that I really believe in, so we're going to keep an eye on him over the course of the season. Fantastic bloke, and he's got some stuff that's really going to come on the scene, and we're going to really be talking about him sometime soon. And Charlie Bielenson ends up getting credited with the save today. So good work from Chuck. Good work from the Everett AquaSox boys. It's great to see our friends of the podcast doing so well. Talking about friends of the podcast, we do have a giveaway in today's episode. We do also have another player interview. So what we're going to do is every couple of weeks, there's going to be an Easter egg in one of our episodes, just to make sure people are listening in. And, it is sort of good to know who's who in the zoo with who's around. So today we have Ryan Sloan, Josh Caron, and Charlie Bielenson key rings. So you're going to take home 3 key rings, and they look really nice as well. This isn't the Easter egg giveaway. This is just giving you the heads up to continue listening. When you do find out what that Easter egg giveaway is, make sure you DM us on the Instagram page. Follow the instructions, shoot us through what you need to shoot us through, and we'll make sure you're looked after. Next week, I have a stack of key rings. We've got about 30 key rings to send out to people that have won them in all sorts of prizes. So if you haven't got your key rings yet, don't worry. They just haven't been posted. I've been super busy this week, but they will be with you soon. So up next, we have an interview with Will Riley, who this was one that I conducted this morning. It was a great chat. Will is a really chatty and really open and nice and honest young bloke. He was taken in the 2024 draft by the Mariners in round 8. He's an exciting arm. He's another one of those unpolished gems that you just know we're going to do fantastic things with. So it was a great chat with him. I hope you enjoy it, and make sure you stick right through the entire episode to find out how you can take home those 3 keychains. But that's enough from me. Let's hear from Will Riley. Today we continue to be incredibly lucky, securing yet another member of what was a really exciting 2024 draft class for the Mariners. Taken in round 8, this right-handed arm, say that 100 times and keep going, is another one of those gems that you just sort of can't wait to see what happens when he's been in the Mariners system. He's, of course, Will Riley. Mate, I'll say thank you about half a dozen times during this episode, but I really appreciate you giving up your time for me this
Of
morning.
course, I'm looking forward to it, honestly.
First up, mate, how's life looking at the moment? Can you give me an update on the body and how that's looking for you right now?
Yeah, so I'm actually rehabbing for the rest of this year. I ended up kind of messing up my shoulder at the beginning of the year. And so, yeah, I had surgery on that. I guess it's actually 9 weeks today, which is, a fun little milestone. But so it was that. And then just kind of just started lifting and all that, just getting in the flow of things again. Honestly, it's an enjoyable group to be around. I don't really want anyone to be in rehab or part of it, but it's a good group to be around, and all of our staff and people in it are really great. So it's been a fun experience so far. Obviously, wish I was out on the field for opening day today, but it is what it is.
Now, is this your first, let's say, major injury? Because I'm assuming you've had niggles and that across your career, but is this the first bit of adversity you've faced?
Honestly, I think it's my first actual injury. I've been really lucky my whole life. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think it is, honestly.
And what about the mental toll? Because if this is your first injury, I'd assume that you're sort of just used to baseball every day. Like, that's become part of your life, that's become part of your routine and almost your identity and personality. Were there any sort of dark times during that period, or have you been optimistic throughout?
I've definitely tried to stay optimistic. Like I said, kind of the group I'm around makes it really easy to enjoy each day. I mean, obviously, with something like that, it's like, oh, shoot, wish I could be out there with the guys, but the easiest way is just stay optimistic, keep hopeful, keep working each day, and really just working to get back out there.
Now, I've never had the luck of falling in love with the game of baseball as a player. I had Charlie Bielenson on, and I was telling him, I went to a come and try day 2 years ago. I'm 30 now. I went when I was 28, so I was like, righto, I'm at the peak of my athletic powers. Let me try baseball. I've been okay at everything else, and they had me at first base, and we had a runner that was going back and forth between first and second, and I dropped the shoulder for like a football charge because I'm like, I'm not getting cleaned up by this bloke. And I took a ball to the face and I ended up with a fractured skull. So
Oh,
I quit straight away. I was like, this is not for me. So I've never had that really amazing feeling of being a baseball player. Was this something that you just played with your friends growing up? Was it introduced to you by family members? What's your earliest memory of playing the game?
oh gosh. My dad's a huge baseball guy. He's diehard Red Sox fan, knows everything about the team. You could name a year and he'll name the best player on that team. It's ridiculous. But honestly, probably from him and my brothers, I remember being probably 5 years old, just in the backyard, playing catch with them, playing wiffle ball or something like that. It was kind of the same thing. Me and my friends all played it together. So, I mean, it was something that helped me make friends. I mean, it was obviously something I love to do. There's nothing quite like being on that field to me. I can't really describe it, but it's just something I've always loved, and fortunately, I was pretty good at it to keep being where I'm at now. So, obviously, just keep hoping to play for as long as I can, too.
Now, you were picked up in the 8th round by the Mariners, but correct me if I'm wrong here, but you had a transfer to a different college lined up as well, potentially at the same time. So was that a hard decision to make for you to, okay, you've been selected, you're going to go pro, or was it a bit of a no-brainer that, right, that's, if I'm selected, I'm going pro. That's the pipe dream. That's what I want to go to.
It was actually kind of a tough decision for me. Obviously, my goal my whole life has been professional baseball, play, just keep playing as long as I can. But I was super fortunate for Coach O'Connor at UVA. They reached out to me and actually made it a really tough decision for me. That program's, I mean, legendary in the state of Virginia, probably across the country now too. It's honestly, probably one of the better programs over the past, 30 years. Phenomenal program. I was super excited to be a part of it. But I mean, chance to live my dreams. It's something that I just can't even describe. It's the coolest feeling in the world. I still remember exactly what happened to this minute. It's crazy.
So when it's the Mariners that have called your name, what was that feeling like? Everyone that we've had on has been a pitcher. I'm really lucky. Tomorrow I've got the first bat on because I felt like it's a little bit one-sided. I didn't want it to be like Mariners pitching down under or anything like that. But this franchise is by far the best within professional baseball at developing pitching and making pitching work and finding uncut gems. Was that a bit of a sigh of relief that we were the ones that picked you up?
Yeah, honestly, it was super cool to me. Just like, I mean, you see with our big league rotation now, I mean, I don't really think there's a debate who's got the best rotation. All the bullpen arms are insane too. Just, and then being here now, it's like I'm seeing all these guys throw, and I'm just like, wow, these guys are really good. Like, it's really fascinating to be a part of, seeing it with myself and not only other guys. Like, they do some, it's not even like anything out of the ordinary. It's just they're so smart, they're so dedicated to what they do, and everyone's so driven in this organization. It's like, I'm not surprised now that I've been here for, I mean, I still haven't been here a whole lot, but like, I see it now and it's like, this is really, really neat.
Now, we are known for finding the pot of gold and being flexible on draft days, but that draft day is super unpredictable, not just for a franchise, but it's unpredictable for you as well, especially in the later rounds. Do you, or did you have any interaction with the Mariners before the draft, or even any other teams, and what was that process like for you?
Honestly, leading up to it, that kind of like week before, my agent kind of like did a lot of like the talking with that. I didn't really know what I was doing, so I let him do it. He's phenomenal at it. Shout out to Justin, but he knew what he was doing. He called me and said, "Hey, here's what they all like. Here's the deal." I was like, "Sign the paper. Let's go. I'll pack my bags right now."
Now, it doesn't matter what sport you play. When you're using a draft pick, you're picking not just a player, but you're picking a person as well. And we've seen a lot of people from different walks of life listen to this podcast, including a lot of kids that are in high school. And we've actually got a couple of people that I've been reaching out to that are probably looking pretty good to be drafted in the next couple of years. So, as a draft hopeful, you want, I guess, a squeaky clean record, and you want to be seen as a genuine person. You want to be a good person that the club drafts. Were there ever any instances where you maybe, growing up when baseball became serious, you needed to cut a friend loose or not go to a party or something that you missed out on personally because you had your goal and you didn't want to jeopardize that? How did you handle that high level of professionalism as a young man and holding yourself to a standard where eventually it allowed you to be drafted? Because, mate, if you're out, getting on the beers every weekend, the club's going to find out about that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I like did anything out of the ordinary. Like I had my goals, I stuck to what I wanted. Like I was fine if I didn't get to hang out with my buddies on a Friday night because I was doing baseball stuff or working out. Like it wasn't something that like deterred me. Like I'd still hang out with them when I could. Still super close with all my friends from high school and grew up together with them, so it was awesome. But like it's not like I ever had to like separate one thing from the other. Like all my friends and I played baseball in high school together. A lot of my buddies played college ball too. A couple of them still playing ball now. So it's like, I feel like if you're around the right people, it makes it a lot easier too. I was always super fortunate to have a great group of friends, great coaches, great teammates. Like, it just makes it so much more fun when you get to share that process with everyone. And I mean, I grew up in a very competitive family with my two brothers. Definitely helped me a lot with that too, whether it was, just chirping each other back and forth or playing against each other. Like we always push each other to the limits, and I mean it probably got us to where we all are now, which is awesome.
Yeah, we were speaking before we started. Like I was telling you, I'm a dad, and there's a saying that it takes a small village to raise a child. Like it's not just one parent on their own, but it takes a lot of people to help someone get drafted as well. So you've got parents, coaches, all of that. So I'm going to put you on the spot here, but was there somebody outside of the obvious answers who really helped you, either with baseball or personally, and that you think back and go, geez, I'm glad I had them in my corner? Maybe like a teacher or just someone that had your best interest at heart.
I could honestly go on for the next 30 minutes. I'm super fortunate. Like I could spend probably an hour listing off people and what they've done for me. Like I was so blessed with phenomenal family, coaches, teammates, all that. Shoot. I'll give a shout out to my guy, James Beerline. He was the coach of the travel organization. And honestly, when I was 13 and made that team, I was probably the last guy on the team. I was the worst player on the field, but it never really like deterred from him. Like he always looked at me and was like, if you want to work hard, let's work hard. Like he never looked at me as like a bad player. It was just like, all right, well, you're short and scrawny. Like once you get bigger, it might help out. So that was, I mean, I was super fortunate for him. I'm still tight with him to this day. Hopefully he sees that'd be cool. But he's a great guy that helped me out throughout the entire process, whether it was summer ball, college, like whenever I had a bad outing. Talk to him, get my mind right, which was awesome. Yeah.
Now, your debut with the Nuts was a pretty good one, mate. You came in the fifth inning. 15 of your 25 pitches were strikes. You were able to maintain your composure for that. Were there any nerves? You know, it's your debut, mate. Like, you know, there's just some pretty serious stuff going on. Were you nervous, or was it just kind of like, I'm locked and loaded, business as usual?
I mean, there was a little bit kind of like in the back of my mind, I guess, but I actually flew into Modesto that morning. So I was like kind of rushed. I got from the airport, Ubered to the field, got there, was playing catch, got ready for the game, and then get to like the walkie-talkie thing down, and it's like, oh, you're in. I was like, cool, let's do it. And then just kind of go from there, honestly. It's something that just takes over. Like, I used to get really nervous before outings and struggle with all that, but it was just like, I'm kind of at the point where it's just like, I just trust what I've worked so hard for now. So it's almost like second nature just takes over, and it's like, this is a game. It's fun at the end of the day. Like, I know every single guy in this field, even though I met them 45 minutes ago. Like, I trust them. They're phenomenal athletes and baseball players. They're going to make plays if the ball comes to them. Like, shoot, and it's just so much fun. Like, I can't even explain it. I remember walking off the field. I probably had the biggest smile on my face. Like, it's just so much fun. I can't even explain it.
So when we look at your toolkit, when it comes to the pitches that you've got at the moment, I know you've been injured, but you've obviously got your core base there. If we look at what you had when you were drafted compared to what you've got now that the Mariners have had their organisation, have had a little bit of time to sort of mould you, how has your arsenal changed? Have you been able to add anything new to your pitch mix? Or is it simply just about sharpening up what you've already got there?
I think a lot of it's been sharpening up. One of the big things the first time I got out here is they wanted my slider to be more of like have more sweep to it. So, I mean, I was out there with our pitching coaches that week, and shoot, they told me a couple things to work on. And the next week, I know my slider's moving like 5 to 10 more inches. I was like, whoa, this is pretty cool. Y'all are some smart fellas. Like,
Yeah.
that was awesome to see. But, like, it's been a lot of that and kind of playing with my fastball. So I throw like a four seam and a sinker. So kind of really sharpening, like differentiating between throwing the sinker or a bad four seam, like making them two good pitches that I can use instead of having like one day, one the other. Like having both at all times, which is very important now, especially with kind of how baseball's going. You see almost every starter or pitcher in general really like you got to throw the kitchen sink now. Like hitters, it's hard out there. So you got to do whatever you can to get an edge. So it's been a lot of that, kind of playing with my cutter, making it move a little bit more and keeping it throwing it as hard. But yeah, just kind of tinkering with things as we think of them and going from there.
And now you've got these bloody torpedo bats, mate, that have come out. You've got another thing that you've got to somehow work around as a pitcher as well with these meaty bats out there. So when we talk about, mate, I know they're legal, but they just don't. It just looks silly. Like I
It looks silly, but honestly, if it's not against the rules, it's the same thing as guys using like sunscreen or rosin to get that little bit of tack or whatever they can to get the edge. Like I'm all for it. Game's game.
Exactly. No point being nice to the other person. You know they're trying to get an edge too. So
you're trying to get a hit off
swinging.
me. I'm trying to strike you out. Like do whatever you got to do, man. I'm gonna bring whatever I got at you. So sure.
Has there ever been a pitch that you have tried to add and you've really wanted to add to your mix and you just can't nail it and you just go, stuff it, I'm going to move on? Or do you are you at a point where it's like, do you know what, no matter what pitch it is, as long as I put in the work, I'm going to be able to master this?
I've never really been able to throw a consistent curveball, I guess. It's just kind of the way I throw. I've never really been able to get like on top of stuff, but I've always been like fastball slider guy, so I wasn't too worried about it. I don't know, maybe a knuckleball, if that counts. Fun one little throw in there.
I've seen the pitch group for that, and I've tried it in the backyard, just piffing balls at my brother, and we've had a few go over the fence. It looks it looks pretty tricky, man.
Mine usually end up like 40 feet from where they're supposed to go. It's just one of those things. Tried to learn it from my dad, didn't work out too well.
think of it as a bonding moment, mate. That's that's what you got to look at it like. So in 2024, college hitters really, really struggled to make contact off you. I think the number, if I'm looking at my screen now, was like 65% of runners that got on base off you were left stranded. So can I just start to ask you a little bit about your mentality out on the mound? When you give up a hit, can you walk me through what goes through your mind for the next pitch? Do you have a routine where it's positive self-talk or reassurance of your abilities? Or do you just get that annoyed that you find a little bit extra from that internal rage and that's how you're able to, allow those singles not to become runs on the board?
Most of the time for me, it's just trying to calm myself, or not like calm myself down, but just stay like composed out there. Like someone gets a hit, it's like, oh well, like good for you. Not like in a cock, but like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not the end of the world. Like at the beginning of my career when I started pitching, it was like, if I gave up a base runner, the tires are coming off the track. Like it's all going to nothing. But our pitching coach, Alex Crosby, did a phenomenal job. Like, just like, dude, it's one runner. Like, you still got another guy. If he's going to score, he has to get a hit. Another guy, it's like, just keep calm, keep doing what you're doing. Like, your stuff's going to play. Just attack the hitters. Don't let the world crumble in front of you. Like, just stay calm, have fun. It's a game. Enjoy it.
Now, we're a different podcast. Obviously, it's Australian, so it's different from the get-go. But we just want to get to know guys. We want to create relationships. And I honestly couldn't think of anything better than touching base with, you guys as our regular guests a few times over the next few years, because obviously things are going to change for you. But in being different, it allows me to ask some left of field questions. So what I want to know is when a catcher calls a pitch and you shake him off and you go your own way and then you get taken yard, do you dare make eye contact with that catcher? Or do you just go with the rest of the inning and follow his lead? Like, what's that awkward situation like?
Um, that's tough. I'm not a big shaker. I trust my catchers and whoever's calling pitches. Like if I'm super determined to throw something, I'll shake to it. But shoot, I don't. That's a tricky one because they're almost looking at you like I told you so, man. Like
Yep.
just trust me out there, and it's like I do, but like I don't know. I feel like I have a good relationship with my catchers. They just kind of smack me on the back or something when we get back and be like, dude, just throw what I'm telling you. But I don't know. That's a tough one. I'd probably be just trust them for the rest of the outing and go from there.
So even the best players in the world make mistakes, and as a pitcher, you're relying on your fielders to do a job. When there's a major mix-up, and say there's like a mare out in the field, like there's a dropped catch or something routine doesn't happen, how are the vibes after the inning, especially if that mistake turns into a run? Is it easy to shake off and not let that rattle you? Because obviously, like let's just be honest, when we're at a minor league level, like you're all fighting for the same goal at the end of the day, and that ERA you sort of want, to look kind of nice. Do you even address it with the fielder, or do you just sort of move on? What's that whole scenario like?
Honestly, you just try and pick them up. Like beating them down is not going to do good for anyone. It's just going to make you look like a bad teammate. It's going to make them feel worse about it. It's going to just kill vibes. Like you try and pick them up, and everyone does a good job of that. Like I'd say all of our teams are super close out here. Like we all know each other pretty well, so it's like go pick your teammate up and you go back to work. Like it's not too hard.
Now you during your college career, you were a corner infielder as well, and we've seen an instance or a few instances of players changing positions or roles on the team, just in regarding to their skill set or potentially what the club or the team needs as well. That decision to just, I guess, just pitch, was that a joint decision? How did that sort of come about? And, how do you take that? Because even if you within yourself know, okay, I am a better arm than a bat or vice versa, you've obviously put a hell of a lot of childhood hours into your craft. I mean, how's that whole conversation go? Is it well received from your end or what goes on, mate?
So mine's a funny story. It wasn't really a conversation. It was more if I played myself out of being an infielder. Like I got to VMI my freshman year, and it was a middle infielder all of high school, really, and got there and shoot, I pretty much forgot how to field. I forgot how to hit. Like it was atrocious. I'd have BP rounds where I didn't even get out of the cage. I'd just be hitting them off the turtle, swinging and missing everywhere. Honestly, it's hilarious looking back at it now. But and then I started throwing middle of my freshman year, like bullpens during practice. Our pitching coach came up to me one day and was like, "Hey, you got a pen today?" I was like, "Huh?" And then just kind of took it and ran from there. Pitched a lot in summer ball after my freshman year, and then the kicker of the story is I got back my sophomore year. It's like the first day we were back at school. I was down hitting in the cage with one of my buddies, and our pitching coach comes out and he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Just swinging." And he was like, "Nah, you're not a hitter no more. You're only a pitcher now." So that was kind of the conversation there. But I mean, it worked out so far. But I definitely wish I could swing it a little bit, but definitely wasn't my strong suit. The whole making contact thing. I didn't do that very well, honestly.
If baseball didn't work out, so let's say making contact's not happening, let's just say pitching didn't click for you. Did you have a backup plan, in life of what you were going to do, or is kind of like I'm going to ride this baseball thing into the ground and then I'm just going to find a job and figure my stuff out from there?
I wouldn't say I put all my eggs in a basket, but I pretty much did. Like, I was super fortunate. I didn't have to like get an internship over the summer. Like, I was always able to play baseball and just keep working as hard as I can because my parents supported me. But for me, it was play baseball or like bust. Like, it's all I've wanted. It's one of my like I'm good at it, so it's like, shoot, let's keep going. Like, let's see how long we can make this thing happen. And if it doesn't work, I'll figure it out one day, I guess.
So before we get into our last two questions, and they're two questions that I ask every guest, where are things at? You said at the start of the interview you're 9 weeks, into your shoulder. What's the timeline look for you, mate? What's on the horizon in terms of resuming baseball activities or improving things, or just slowly starting to build up? What's your timetable looking like?
I'm on the full season IL this year, which I mean kind of blows, but just kind of rolling with the punches. I don't know the exact timeline. I know I start throwing in a couple of months or something like that. I don't know exactly the date, but it's somewhere in like the summer or winter for y'all, I guess, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
I
that
woke
flip
up this
schedule.
morning. It's I've got the jumper on. I haven't worn a jumper in like 6 months, and I was like, oh, it's getting cold. We're starting,
A little
we're
chilly out
starting
there.
autumn. Oh yeah, no, it's not good.
Oh
And we
god,
had a heat wave 2 weeks ago, so I don't know what's going on.
this weather's crazy. But yeah, so I'll be back moving again this summer, getting back in the weight room right now, and just kind of ramping up from there.
Well, I'll just put the invitation out there, mate. We have the Australian Baseball League over here, which is a really, really short 10-week season, maybe. Over our summer, we've had Acuna Jr. playing the league, so we've had some quality. We've got Greg Bird. He hit a walk off home run for the Yankees in the championship series or whatnot. So it's not bad, but a lot of prospects come out and play here for 10 weeks just to get some reps under their belt. So it's been disappointing. My local team are connected with the Texas Rangers, so I've got to kind of like support them, but also give the Rangers boys the middle finger because screw the Rangers. So it's a bit of a conflicting one in my mind, but maybe drop that to the club and see if you can work your way out because it'd be nice to have somebody to actually get behind.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Who knows?
Now, our final two questions. The first one is you're having a dinner party and you can invite 4 people to your dinner party, but 2 need to be current Mariners players and the other 2 can be anybody that you want, dead or alive, famous, non-famous. Who are you bringing?
Can they be? Are they real people, or is it like? Can I do movie characters, something like that?
Mate, if you want to bring Harry Potter, bring Harry Potter.
All right. You said 2 Mariners players. This is probably a really easy answer as a pitcher, but I'll probably go Cal Raleigh, get the mind of the catcher, see what he's got. Um, Shoot, probably one of our pitchers too. Can I go Randy Johnson? He's a Mariners pitcher technically.
I will take that. He is
I
ingrained
mean,
enough
he's
in this
he's the
organisation.
man. Like I would love to pick his mind about everything. And then my two characters, I'm going Anakin Skywalker, probably like Scooby Doo or something.
Nice. That's a
It's a unique. I love Star Wars. So that's a big one for me. I don't know. I think that'd be an interesting conversation. Whatever's going on there.
yeah, exactly right. um,
Scooby's eating everything and all that.
I don't know who's paying that. It might have to be Randy, but I know they didn't make that much money back in the day. I don't know if you saw the video when it was Cal's press conference for signing, and I think it was Bryce or Brian. One of them said they went out for dinner that week, and Cal, knowing he's signing a $105 million contract, still let Logan, who's in bloody arbitration, put down his card for dinner. So yeah, you might have to come up with something, mate. You might be
I'll
paying.
float that one.
And our final one, obviously, you were so obliging. I just thought there's such a large amount of good stories out there to unpack with our prospects, and as much as we do love hearing from the Colt Emersons of the world, and I would love to get Colt on, I think those interviews can get flogged into the ground. So it's good sometimes to just unlock new stories. Everyone's got a brilliant path to the major leagues to share. So you were really obliging when I messaged you, but not everyone's like that. So we do rely on you guys for a little bit of help to keep the podcast running. We've had Ryan Sloan, Brock Moore, Josh Karen, Charlie Bielenson. I've got you, and I've got Aiden Butler in about half an hour as well coming on. So if there's one podcast guest that you think that we should get on, who is it? And keeping in mind whatever name you put forward, you've got to help us secure the interview as well.
Got to get Adam Levitt on there.
All right.
He's in with me now, but he's a good personality for you to have on here. Or get you Johnny Farmello. We can teach you everything.
John, I've got we're going to digress for a hot minute here, which I always do. I've got these little keychains made up. So this is Ryan Sloan's, and they're just like a little
sweet.
Bowman first. I've got Johnny Farmello ones coming at Easter, and yeah, we can hook him up big time. So we've got for you as well, mate, and I'll do it off air because we don't want to publicise your personal details. This is the back of the shirt. I've got a Mariners Down Under shirt.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's the front, got the little logo. I'm going to send that. I'm going to send you some Australian snacks as well. So I'll get you to shoot me through a postal address. If you're set, give me that one. Otherwise, I know like with Brock, he just gave me his mum and dad's address because he wasn't sure where he was going to be. So we'll hook you up, mate, just as a token of appreciation for your time. And yeah, I'll put it this way. If you can send me Johnny Farmello, I will give you enough Tim Tams that you're going to give yourself diabetes within the week, mate. So we'll make it happen.
I'll drop something on him tomorrow and I'll say something to him.
Mate, that would be brilliant. But again, Will, mate, I genuinely cannot thank you enough for your time. It's been awesome learning about you, learning about your process. So thank you for coming on, mate, and hopefully we can do this again sometime.
Of course, I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Honestly, what a great chat with Will. What a fantastic bloke. And again, I can't thank him enough for coming on, and all our other guests. So I'm just about to drop our Easter egg giveaway with the keychains, but I just want to address something really, really quickly, and this is going to bring out grumpy me, and it's going to bring out a bit of a rant, but it's about respecting our players. And Mariners Down Under in this podcast was always going to be about respecting our players. And we know that sometimes people are going to have an off game. I mean, today doing the podcast, I'm probably not sounding as chirpy because I'm just really tired. I've been burning the candle at both ends. Life's been hectic, business has been hectic, and I probably haven't brought my A game. And sometimes players don't bring their A game either. They might be feeling under the weather, or it just might not be their day. And the other day, Emerson Hancock had a really tough start. And some of the commentary that I saw on social media from people, and also from people who have a platform about the Mariners, I felt was at a point where it was crossing the line. The stuff on social media, some of the things I saw made me incredibly angry. It was vile. It was abusive. And those people need to pull their head in. because I can guarantee you're not saying that to anyone's face because you're sitting in your mum's front room on a keyboard. But still, those things can be hurtful. And we've got a bloke who he knows that we lost that game because of his outing. And he already feels bad enough. And I guarantee he's working his tail off to better himself and improve himself. He does not need to be reading that stuff. And if that's your opinion, keep it to yourself. Some of the stuff was just purely disgusting. It didn't need to be on the internet. Talking about him harming himself, all of this stuff. I'm not even going to credit it by saying what it was. Those people need to pull their head in. And also, and this might start a little bit of a war between content creators. I don't know if I'm that big enough yet. And I'll just come out and say I'm a nobody. I don't really have that many followers. But the one thing that I do is I love this club and I will always respect the players. And I will always do anything I possibly can to uplift them and their brand. And some podcast platforms, to come out and be like, well, Emerson Hancock just sucks. Emerson Hancock doesn't suck. Emerson Hancock might not have the same stuff that Logan Gilbert's got. But to just be so negative towards Emerson, like, what are we doing here, guys? Are we here to promote the Mariners? Are we here to talk about the Mariners? Or are we just here trying to get hot takes? Because I just don't think that that's constructive. And if you want to be a negative person and you want to do that, then that's fine. But like, at the same time, don't ever complain that nobody wants to do an interview with you, or that people think you're negative, or people speak bad about you. If you're just going to come out and say that players suck. If a player sucked, he wouldn't be playing Major League Baseball. He just may not be as good as Ohtani. He may not be as good as Bryce Harper, but the bloke doesn't suck. The bloke had a bad outing. And the bloke's been good plenty of times for us. He's serviceable. Not everyone's going to be a number one starter. We're going to have guys that are, there's going to be a day where you maybe just don't have as much confidence. And I thought we learnt this as a franchise last year with the rubbish that Mitch Garver went through. And Mitch Garver, I met Mitch Garver in Detroit and Pittsburgh last year, and I can tell you there is not a finer person in baseball than Mitch Garver. Polite, couldn't do enough to have a chat to me. He was brilliant. And the threats and the crap that his family were sent, yeah, he was having a down year. But you know what? He looks bloody good this year. He's a World Series champion. Who cares? It's a game of baseball. You don't need to be sending stuff like that. So I know that our community here has been so positive, and I love it. I love everyone messages me and goes, what do you think about this? Or do you want to talk about this? And I can't thank you guys enough. It's been great. But if we can, as a Mariners Down Under community, if we do see that stuff online, be the bigger person and pull them up and go, hey mate, that's not on. We won't stand for that as Mariners fans, because we just want to uplift this team and we just want to support them. So if you are coming out, if you're being negative for the sake of being negative, if you're being abusive, or if you're just trying to get hot takes, pull your head in, will you? It's a game of baseball. The bloke gave his best, and let's just be positive. Let's just get behind the guy, hey? But anyway, that's enough of me trying to be a police officer out here. The 3 keychains, the Ryan Sloan, the Josh Karen, and the Charlie Bielenson. What you've got to do is you need to follow us on Spotify and on YouTube, and you need to send me through a screenshot of you following us through our DMs. It's at Mariners Down Under on Instagram. And then the 4 interviews we've had so far, Will, Brock, Charlie, and Josh. I want you to go and follow them. And I want you to comment on their most recent post that you heard them on Mariners Down Under. And if you love the interview, tell them that you love the interview as well. So it's Will Riley 2, Brock _Moore 81, Charlie Bielenson, and Josh.Karen 3. We follow all of those guys, so just check the blokes that we follow, do a search or whatever the kids do on social media now. Follow those guys, screenshot that you follow them, send them through to me, and the first person that does that will win the 3 keychains. And I know people are getting this at different times, Australian night, American morning. For the 4th person who sends it through, so a bit of a random number, but for the 4th person who does that, I'm going to send you a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card keychain. Pretty sure it's a rookie card anyway, but a Griffey keychain as well. So just to thank you all from around the world for being part of this. So that's the end of today's episode. Next week we should have Ike or somebody else on to dissect the games a little bit more. We have a few more interviews with players lined up as well. So, again, just remember, just be nice. Just love our guys. They're doing their best. We love our players. We're building something really, really special here in Seattle. So let's just get behind the boys, get on the boys, and let's have a great season, eh? So stay safe, stay well, and until next time, guys, go Mariners.